Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm getting ready using the brand new Soleil Lune Eyeshadow palette from the Ford Soleil NEIGE collection. And here's the kicker, because not only am I using green eyeshadow, I chose a couple other pieces from the collection that I really did not think would work well for me. So this is me pushing myself completely out of my comfort zone. If you're like me and your first impression of the green eyeshadow was that you just really weren't interested, hopefully you will at least appreciate seeing some of these other pieces in action today. If you're new here, welcome. I'm so happy to have you. This is our pink, sparkly, positivity-filled bubble on YouTube, where we talk about our love of luxury, beauty, fragrance, and so much more. So if that sounds like something that interests you, go ahead and subscribe right now and hit the notification bell so you don't miss another thing. My skincare is complete. My hair is clipped back out of my face, so I'm ready to begin. I actually let it air dry last night, so it's extra poofy and frizzy. I always feel like I'm starting to look like my mini poodle whenever I let my hair air dry. So the hair is kind of crazy right now, but our makeup is about to be incredibly glamorous. So let's go ahead and begin. I'm going to start by priming my eyelids with just a little bit of the Chanel concealer. And this is something I generally always do. Now it's time to dive right into our Soleil Lune eyeshadow palette from Ford. This is such a beautiful palette. The creative possibilities are truly endless. Between Pinterest and Instagram, you certainly have a lot of options to search for inspiration to come up with looks of your own. This is not a look that I've tried before, so we're just gonna go for it today and see what happens. I'm taking a traditional eyeshadow brush, picking up that green shade, and we're going to put this all over the lid. With a blank fluffy brush, I'm just going to soften the crease. Picking up an eyeshadow blender brush, this is really just a more compact eyeshadow brush. I'm going into this kind of slate taupe right here in the corner. And I'm going to put this in the outer V outer lid. I was hoping that would give us a little bit more depth, but it sort of just blends right into the green. Not only are there no matte eyeshadows in this palette, but there are also no dark shadows. You sort of have these three colors, and while they are different shades, they're the same sort of medium intensity. So you have one light color, three medium shades. It does limit your options a little bit, but it also will force you to get sort of creative. With the fluffy brush, I'm going to just soften that up. The top of the eye looks very simple, but it's also very pretty and very easy to achieve. So with my finger, I'm going to take a little bit of this pearl color right here, and I'm gonna pop just a little bit of that right in the center. We're going to step away from eyes for just a moment to complete our face. So today I'm going in with my Traceless foundation. I have the shade 6 Natural. I'm going to mix in a drop of the Glacial Rose Glow Drops. So this is going to add a little bit of color, a little bit of glow. And I thought maybe these would be too dark for me, but as long as I'm using just a small amount, it should sheer out quite nicely. So on the back of my hand, I just put one little dollop of the Glacial Rose and then sort of 1.5, almost 2 pumps of the Traceless foundation. And now I'm just gonna go in with a little concealer from Chanel. Concealer always makes such a huge difference. Not only does it trick people into thinking that you actually had a full night's sleep, but when you have your concealer done, the look really starts to come together. So now I'm going to go ahead and open up my Shade and Illuminate Intensity 1, and I'm just going to use this smoothing face brush. This is from Bare Minerals, and I'm gonna warm up the face. Oh gosh, there's glitter in there. How did that get there? Oh no. I don't think I've applied glitter in a very long time, so that's strange. I'm gonna go ahead and apply this. I'm not gonna do the official technique that I showed in my last Get Ready With Me video because I think it takes a little bit more time and I'm not necessarily looking for a very chiseled contour face. I really just want to add a little bit of warmth. I always say, and I truly believe, that there are no rules when it comes to makeup, but one rule of thumb that I do tend to abide by is that if I'm doing a jewel toned eye or glittery eye, any sort of eye that's going to attract the most attention, I try to keep my face relatively simple. I won't do a harsh contour and bright highlight, crazy cheek, anything that's going to be too harsh on the face, because then it'll just be too much. So with our green eyeshadow, I'm trying to create a pretty soft complexion. I'm going to go ahead and set my under eye with the Tom Ford Translucent Finishing Powder in the shade 02 Ivory Fawn. I really like this powder because it's incredibly finely milled. It mattifies without being too matte and too drying. The third and final new item that's going to push us out of our comfort zone from Tom Ford is the glow stick in the shade Courchevel. I heard from many of you who said that you were really interested in seeing this swatched on the cheek. It's the deepest berry tone, it's cool. I honestly think this is going to be way too dark for me, but we shall see. I learned the hard way, so I'm going to go ahead and apply this lightly with fingers. Last time I applied it directly on my face and it was just too much, so. That's actually not as bad as I thought. Whew! I do think that the Courchevel shade is going to be better suited for anybody with more of a medium, olive, deeper skin tone. And while I have sunless tanned recently, I am still on the pale side of the spectrum. But as long as you are light-handed and you really blend it out, if you prefer a cooler toned berry type of blush, I think this could still work for you. In fact, I'm going in for more. I'm going back for seconds. I might regret this later, but I really just want to see the color pop a little bit more. I really like the fact that the glow sticks are easy to use and very blendable. That's going to be the saving grace, because if you accidentally apply too much, you can always correct it. Going into the highlighter on the other side, I'm just going to pop a little bit of this right on the tops of the cheeks. Our face is complete, and I filled in my eyebrows just a little bit using my Anastasia Brow Wiz. And now with a little precision brush, I'm going to go back into our palette and pick up the Pearly Green. And this is going to go underneath the lower lash line on the inside. For the sake of adding a little bit of warmth, I'm going to pick up this gold and I'm going to run that underneath the lower lash line on the outer lash line. You know what I mean. For liquid liner, I used the Tom Ford Eye Defining Pen, and now I'm going to coat my lashes with the Legendary Lashes Mascara from Charlotte Tilbury. Eyes are now complete. I finished my mascara, my eyeliner, my eyebrows. I went in with a gold waterproof eyeliner on the inner rim. The one I used is from Lancome, but it was limited edition several summers ago, but I know there are plenty of available options, so I will link a few down below in case that's a detail that you would like to add. I think it just kind of completes the look, and the gold in the inner rim also sort of ties in the gold eyeshadow that we used underneath the lower lash line. Now for lips, I want to do something very neutral and somewhat simple. I mean, I don't want to say simple and plain, but something that isn't going to take away too much from the green eyeshadow. So I'm going to go in with my Darling Matte Luxe Lip from Tom Ford. I am going to top that off with my new Luxe Gloss in the shade 14 Crystalline. This is the complete makeup look du jour. Overall, I'm really happy with the way it turned out. It's very different from what I would typically wear. I think this is a pretty daytime look, maybe special occasion. You could create evening looks with this palette, but I think you would maybe want to incorporate some deeper eyeshadows or maybe a dark black eyeliner or smoldering charcoal for the waterline, something like that. You just might have to get creative and bring some other products into the mix. I can't say I'm overall blown away by this palette. I think it's kind of what I expected. You're going to have to decide if minty green eyeshadow is something that you will wear enough to justify this purchase. That was really my only concern. It's not that it's not beautiful, because you can look at it and see it's very different, very unique from other Tom Ford palettes and other eyeshadows that you can pick up from other brands. As much as I love the way my look turned out today, I know it's not something that I would recreate again and again. But that being said, if you did want to pick up this eyeshadow palette, you can always use it without the green and just stick to these three corner shadows right here, and that would be really beautiful, very easy, wearable, everyday looks. Another option that I think would be really pretty would be creating a halo eye, either using the gold eyeshadow on the inner and outer lid and popping the green right in the center as an accent, or you could do it the reverse way and put the green on the inside and outside and pop the gold right in the center. This gold eyeshadow by itself is absolutely stunning, but I'm not sure if you want to pick up this palette just for the gold eyeshadow. I think the real standout, what makes this palette special, is this pearly green. So if you love it, then this is perfect. If you don't love the green, if you don't think it's something that you would wear, there are plenty of other palettes, including the Soleil d'Hiver palette, the smokier palette would be really pretty, the Soleil Neige palette, Nude Dip, Body Heat. There are a lot of neutral palettes that you could use instead of this one. I honestly had so much fun creating today's look. It's a lot of green, but I think you have to really commit to the green. Go green or go home with this palette, or else you might as well get something else. You have to enjoy it. The other products that I used today I was really happy with. So the Glacial Rose took me by surprise. I thought this would be way too dark for my skin tone, but when I mixed this into my foundation, it gave me that beautiful subtle glow. It didn't change or alter the foundation shade too much. So I think this is really pretty. It would also be gorgeous mixed in with a liquid blush. I wasn't able to do that today because I wanted to test out the Courchevel blush stick. This is really something that surprised me. I thought it would be way too berry, way too cool toned. It would look brown and muddy on my skin, but it blended out really beautifully. I'm think I'm probably most impressed with the blush shade because I did not expect to like it whatsoever. Again, I thought this was going to be best suited for somebody with a deeper skin tone than I have. But it just goes to show that if you are light-handed and you're willing to blend and take the time, it'll look really beautiful. And the highlight shade on this is really stunning. So overall, I'm really happy with how the complexion turned out. You can do so much with those glow drops. You can just put them all over your body and it'll be perfect. You'll look like a Christmas ornament. And that completes today's video. So thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it and you feel inspired to create green eyeshadow looks, or perhaps now you know that this palette is just not for you. Either way, I hope it was helpful. If it was, give it a thumbs up. Leave me any of your comments or your questions down below. I love hearing from you guys. As always, I will be linking all of the new products, everything that I used today on my face, down below in the description box for your convenience. And for more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell.